we're live.
Good morning and welcome to the Pete Braley Show. This is show number 109. I'm Pete Braley along with my co-host, the executive producer, the creator of the show. That would be the man who wishes we did an afternoon show and didn't get up this early. My son, Matt.
Yes,
Hello.
That is true. That is 100% true.
We are back after our Thanksgiving break. We missed you. Have a great show planned for you today. Our goal is to always start your day off in a positive note. So if you like what we do here, please be sure to hit the like button, the thumbs up there, and subscribe so that you don't miss any future shows. We're live here on YouTube weekday mornings and also available on all of your favorite podcast apps. You can leave us a voicemail at with your questions, birthdays, comments. 774-473-9910 is how you leave that voicemail. And don't forget, we now have Make It a Great Day merch available, t-shirts, hoodies, and mugs. You can find the link down below. And thank you so much for those that have supported the show. Coming up, expect to pay more for Christmas trees this year. Americans weigh in on what they don't like about the holidays. We have a new trend with adults, that is, not having children. And a couple got married through Zoom, even though they have never met each other in real life. We'll get to those stories and more, but it is great to see you. Good to be back. We had our Thanksgiving break and went down to Virginia Beach. We had Thanksgiving. It was confusing. We had Thanksgiving at Doug and Marla's house, and he did the deep fryer. Deep fried turkey. That was good. That was good and moist.
What makes something a deep fryer?
The fact that he lowered it down, maybe. And
I guess. Yeah.
I guess.
I don't know. You hear deep fried stuff and just fried stuff.
Yeah.
What is the depth that it needs to go to?
Okay. Something to look up later.
There we go.
Yeah. Then we celebrated Christmas on the Saturday after Thanksgiving at Stephen and Sarah's house. And Uncle Matt did it again with Liam's most favorite Christmas gift, the garbage truck.
Wait, I don't think I've done this before. This is a big Doug and Marla thing. Yeah.
Oh, they used to go
They
in with
they
it?
they buy the killer gifts typically.
But-
that he likes that day. I mean, he ends up liking all the toys. But,
Right.
But yeah, no, I won. I bought him a toy garbage truck.
Garbage truck.
I win.
It is Wednesday. We hope you had a very nice Thanksgiving. Be sure to mention in the chat if anything interesting happened with you. It is Wednesday, December 1st. Rabbit, 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 right? First words out of your mouth on the first day of the month are supposed to be rabbit, rabbit, rabbit.
Except those were like your 50th words of the day.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
My first words were, "Are you all right?" Charlie fell off the bed.
Yeah. I heard a thump. I didn't know what happened.
And you thought it was me.
Well, no, it wasn't loud enough to be you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. But so I went and he seems fine.
Yeah.
We checked on him. He seems all right.
He sleeps right on the edge of the bed.
He does.
And every now and then, like this morning, it catches up to him.
Yep.
19 days until Matt's birthday, 24 days until Christmas, 31 days until the new year. And for those of you waking up and it's cold this morning, 109 days until spring. All right, the countdown's on. Welcome to National Pie Day. And I have no idea why it is held now and not back on Thanksgiving. But it's National Pie Day today. It's National Eat a Red Apple Day. It's Bifocals at the Monitor Liberation Day.
What?
It encourages you to free yourself from blurry images. If you need glasses, just give in and get them, all right?
But why that name? Why not National Glasses Day?
No, it's Bifocals at the Monitor.
You want to know why? Because I guarantee there is a
Day.
National Glasses Day.
Probably.
Yes, yeah.
It's National Package Protection Day, looking out for those porch pirates. It's World AIDS Day to raise awareness and to mourn those who have died from the disease. And it's also Rosa Parks Day. It was on this day in 1955. After a long day of work, Rosa Parks boarded a bus in Montgomery, Alabama. She took her seat in the colored section. As she rode the Cleveland Avenue bus home, the bus began to fill up. Bus drivers regularly required black passengers to give up their seats to white passengers when the bus became full. When the bus driver asked Rosa Parks to give her her seat, she refused. Police arrested her, and what followed, of course, is civil rights history. On the date book, on this day in 1887, Sherlock Holmes first appeared in print in Study in Scarlet by Arthur Conan Doyle. 1913, the Ford Motor Company institutes the world's first moving assembly line for the Model T Ford. On this day in 1924, the Boston Bruins beat the Montreal Maroons 2-1 at the Boston Arena. This was the first NHL game to be played in the United States. The game of bingo was invented on this day in 1929 by Edwin Lowe. On this day in 1953, Hugh Hefner published the first edition of Playboy magazine. It featured Marilyn Monroe as the first centerfold. On this day in 1964, after just 3 seasons in the MLB, the Houston Colt 45s changed the name of the team to the Astros. The owners say the move signals a step into the future by the franchise and the city. On this day in 1971, John Lennon and Yoko Ono released Happy Christmas, War is Over. Heisman Trophy winner Doug Flutie, he won the award on this day in 1984. He played for Boston College. And on that same day, 1984, Beverly Hills Cop with Eddie Murphy premiered in Los Angeles. Good morning, Charlie. Studio dog Charlie is on his porch right now.
He's watching out for porch pirates. So,
yes. He's celebrating the day, looking over our porch. Charlie, can we carry on? Celebrity birthdays. Bette Midler is 76, and actress Charlene Tilton is 63. So who's in the chats? Do we have people saying good morning?
We have a couple shout-outs here. Abby says it is Liz and Tim's wedding anniversary today, so shout-out to Liz and Tim.
Yes.
And also Lori said, could you guys give a shout-out to my dad, Jim? He is 80 years old today. Well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Jim.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Let's see who else we have here. Dane is here. He said rabbit, rabbit. Gail said it too. Yeah, we did not. I don't think I'll ever remember to do that. Gail said, still sunny here in Virginia Beach with puppies. There you go.
Oh, that's right.
Best place to be. Diane's here. Abby's here. Good morning, guys. Gary said, feeling that way. I'm still cold this morning. Yeah, today was the first morning where like you woke up and it was really, well, we've been away, but it was the first morning I felt it was so cold that I didn't want to get out of bed.
Ooh.
And then once you got in the shower, it was so cold you didn't want to get out of the shower.
Yeah. So,
yeah, you're lucky I'm here, is what I'm saying. That's all.
I went with the flannel.
Yeah. Gail said, "Hey, if you want to change the time to 10, I'm good with that." Is everyone else good with that?
Let's take a poll. Take a survey.
Yeah. Dana said, "I'm still in a tryptophan stupor
from the turkey.
Never enough turkey." Giggle. Yeah.
It was funny. You were staying at Doug and Marla's house while Mom and I were at Sarah and Stevens.
Yep.
And what happened with Marla and the leftovers? You guys were saying, why don't we'll just put the leftovers out for football snacks. Right?
Oh, yeah, for football snacks. And she was like, stop trying to give away my leftovers. She's like, I like leftovers.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, fair point. I am a big fan of leftovers. Yeah. But yeah, back to you.
All right. The New England Revolution lost last night. Their quest for the MLS Cup came to an abrupt and disappointing end last night. They fell to the New York City FC in the East semifinals at Gillette Stadium. Came down to penalty kicks. All 5 New York City shooters were able to beat Matt Turner, while Adam Buxa missed for New England to give NYCFC the 5-3 victory because of the kicks. So great season for the Revolution, but does come to an end. Our random thought for today: what is the most embarrassing thing you've ever worn? What is the most embarrassing thing you've ever worn? I have a list.
You have a list of just from you?
I didn't write it down, but I have it up here. Just various things.
Starting off with your light blue tuxedo. No, you wore a white tuxedo to your wedding.
Yes, I had a white tuxedo.
You wore a light blue tuxedo for something?
The guys had light blue.
Ah, that's probably what I'm remembering.
Yeah, the guys had light blue.
Studs.
But it was 1981, so yeah. What's the most embarrassing thing you've ever worn? Well, put your answer down in the chats. If you're watching this later in the day, you can put it in the comments, or we will put it on our socials later. Oh, I did want to mention, if you can go with the other shot here, we have our friend.
Yeah.
We have a new gnome out this morning, and this was a surprise when we got home. I found this on the counter, and it said, "This is Moishe," which is Yiddish for Moses. He is the mensch on a bench. Instead of the elf on the shelf, I guess.
There it is, yeah.
This is from Diane Hahn, by the way, our friend. He's come to hang out with Jethro in the studio during the 8 crazy nights of Hanukkah. That's what Diane Hahn calls Hanukkah at their house. It's the
Han.
H-A-H-N.
There it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
You better watch out, Charlie, because he's watching you. So,
Charlie, behave, please. Okay.
For Moisha. All right, so Moisha's here. Thank you so much.
Hopefully we pronounced that right.
I believe so.
Yeah, Jethro has I love how the gnome thing is just taken off. Like, has this always been a thing? I don't know why. We did a little Christmas shopping the other day, and there's gnomes everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't remember gnomes being everywhere, but they're everywhere.
It used to be something you'd put outside. You know, like you'd have a garden gnome.
Yep.
But now there's a lot of them.
They're invading the indoors. Like, I don't know.
It's cold. They're
is
moving
this their
in.
plot? Like, who started this?
In the news this morning, expect to pay more for Christmas trees this holiday season. Experts say tree buyers should expect to pay between 10 and 30% more for both live and artificial trees. Several factors are driving the trend, including the supply chain issues. On top of the higher prices, consumers will also have a smaller selection to choose from. Happened to Doug and Marla when they went out the other night. Secret Santa and wrapping gifts are the worst part of the holidays, according to a new survey. Researchers talked to 2,000 Americans about the holidays and found 52% say wrapping gifts is the worst part. The hardest gifts to wrap include bicycles. Came in at number one.
You don't even wrap that. You just slap a bow on that.
Yeah. Gym equipment came in at number 2.
Okay, same thing.
Same thing, trying to wrap a Peloton, is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Sports balls are number 3.
Get creative. You got that.
Don't they come in doesn't even a basketball come in a box, kind of?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guitars come in 4th.
I disagree with that. Most of them come in a box. So, I mean, just wrap up the box.
He gave Liam his own ukulele.
Yeah. Except they call it a guitar. I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, I guess while he's young.
Oh, okay.
But eventually we'll have to teach him the ways. But yeah, he was rocking his. Sarah has a pink ukulele,
right?
But Sarah never. I keep trying to get Sarah to learn the ukulele. She knew at one point, totally gave up on it. So I bought Liam a ukulele.
Yeah.
Now they can play together.
Nice.
It's never gonna. Sarah's never gonna touch that again. But you know.
Coming in 5th, by the way, the hardest thing to wrap, candles.
Why aren't they? Well,
are they in a box?
Just put it in a gift bag. You know?
Really.
A lot of these, I feel like, just throw it in a gift bag.
Another unpopular holiday tradition is apparently Secret Santa. Now, I don't think it's the way we did it.
No. This is definitely like work Secret Santa.
Yes.
Yeah.
79% say they hate being roped into the exchange because they never know what to get the other person. And, I mean, I've been through this so many times. Did you have this at work, too?
Yeah, I've done it a couple times, yeah.
Yeah, you get assign somebody, let me buy you some lottery tickets or something.
Like a gift card. But then sometimes there's a rule, no gift cards. But luckily, I've never had to deal with that. But I know people that have had to do no gift card Secret Santas. What do you buy the person?
Really? I mean...
And at that point, they probably want a gift card.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, they don't want a pair of, I don't know, funny socks. They don't. They don't.
Mary sent a message through Facebook because we've been talking about this today, about the things people hate about Christmas. And she said just the commercialization of Christmas, she thinks is just gotten too much.
Yeah, but that's just life, right? Everything gets commercialized. But we don't need to get into that.
Probably.
Yeah.
You're right. The gifts from the 12 Days of Christmas are going to cost you more money this year. PNC's Christmas Price Index has been around since 1984. They've been figuring this out since the mid-'80s.
I mean, hey, it's their thing.
They measure the current cost of obtaining all items in a full verse of the iconic Christmas carol. So, yeah, how much? 8 maids of milking, 7 swans of swimming. After plummeting last year, the index is up 5.7% this year, which is the largest jump since 2013. It would cost about $41,206 to obtain all of the items in each of the 12 verses. That is up from $16,168 last year. The most expensive gift, for those of you that are wondering, is these 7 swans a swimming. That'll set you back $13,000.
You need a new swan guy then. I don't know who you're going for swans, but you need a new swan guy.
Got to get swan guy.
Yeah.
Gen Z currently makes up 25% of the workplace in the U.S., but they do the most complaining. Human resources professionals say the youngest people in offices tend to bring grievances and misunderstandings. One HR director said, "We stopped offering free soda, and you would have think we imposed a pay cut." The complaints from the junior staff to HR were unreal. They act more entitled than anyone else. And another manager said, "We had an employee complain to HR that they were being bullied." Why? Well, their manager told them that flexibility did not mean they could just make their own hours and be offline whenever it suited them.
I mean, that's bullying, right?
No. A new study finds sports, board games, and video games prepare people for conflict and cooperation in real life.
Ooh, don't tell parents that.
And they even can keep groups together.
What?
Researchers discovered how games are an essential way of bonding. Competitive games can help groups where there is conflicts, while cooperative games can aid team harmony. Researchers believe games mimic real-world behavior and may be one avenue in which children learn and practice cultural norms.
Let's start getting Call of Duty in kindergarten. You heard it there. Study shows.
By the way, speaking of board games, I read last night that the Queen Elizabeth of England should be going off to her estate to celebrate the holidays. The family will gather this year. They did not last year because of the pandemic. And, of course, they get together and they love to play board games, but Monopoly is banned.
Why's that?
Prince Andrew says they get too competitive.
Oh, okay.
Imagine the royals sitting around. I'm going to put a hotel there, old mummy.
And that they just ended the game. They're like, nope, you can't do that. Nope, that's too competitive.
Blue-eyed women are the most attractive to men on dating apps. Researchers created profiles for a male and female model on Bumble, Tinder, and Hinge. The color of their eyes was digitally modified, with researchers measuring the number of matches each one received. They found men with darker colored eyes were the most appealing to women, while men were most attracted to women with blue eyes.
Maybe. I'm glad you, a 40-year married man,
yes,
looked that up.
It's my job
and have that information.
It's my job to share with the masses.
Perfect.
And Matt and I have been talking about this guy. A man in Missouri left a giant cutout of himself at a gas station as a prank, and it's now become a TikTok sensation. Kyle Sheely worked with friends to create a cutout of himself jamming out with a pizza guitar that advertised a fake Kyle Sheely meal. He then put it inside a gas station. So he's got this 6'2". He brings it into the gas station.
Well, because they said that the people just come and bring signs, and no one knows where it comes from. They're just like, yep, okay. Like Pepsi will just bring in a sign, and they're like, yeah, just put it over there. So he was like, I'm going to test this.
So he put on a beanie, and he had his mask on for the pandemic, so you couldn't really see him. He walked in. He said, "I'm just going to leave this here, okay?" And they said, "Yep, that's fine." He wanted to see how long it would be before the store caught on and removed the massive cutout. But millions of TikTok views later, the cutout's popularity has inspired a real-life Kyle Sheely mealy. It's available at it's a chain of stores, I guess, called Come and Go in Missouri, and he's sending a portion of the proceeds to charity. The Kyle Sheely mealy, by the way, includes a 12-ounce Red Bull and a pizza sandwich, which is just 2 pieces of pizza smashed face to face.
Healthy. They were going for a healthy option.
I guess so. Yes. The Kyle Sheely mealy.
I mean, at that point, the I think it was a gas station. They just you can't pretend that you don't see that. So at that point, you got to turn it into a marketing scheme. And boom, there you go.
Because I guess people were commenting about it on TikTok. That's how the store found out. Mm-hmm. So,
well, I guess the store has a pretty good presence on TikTok. So
okay,
they saw it. Yeah.
All right.
So it's a thing.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Americans are not having children. There's a growing number of American adults who aren't already parents, and they say they probably won't have kids either. 44% of non-parents ages 18 to 49 say it's not too likely or not at all likely that they will have children someday. That is up 7 percentage points from those who said the same in 2018. There were many reasons that people gave for not having children, but the one given by 56% of the respondents was simply they don't want any kids. Other reasons include medical and financial. About 15% cite the lack of a partner. Well, that'll do it. 10% said it was the age of their partner, and 9% blamed the state of the world. Roughly 1 in 20 said climate change was their reason to not have a child. Among adults under 40 who are already parents, about 1/4 don't expect to have more children due to the financial cost, while 3 in 10 say they're just too old to have children.
I mean, hey, my life motto, to each their own.
I guess, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, those that do have kids took to Reddit recently to share some things no one warned you about when having kids. One person wrote, "You will never sleep the same again. It's just different levels of fear and worries as they get older." Another person said, "You'll only ever be as happy as your saddest kid." Think about that one for a moment. You'll only be as happy as your saddest kid.
Do you agree so far with those two?
Yeah, sleep. You're never gonna.
Well, okay. I would blame your career choice for that one.
Morning radio. Yeah, that kind of really screwed up my sleep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that that's not the kid's fault.
The level of worries do change. You know, because you worry differently when they're toddlers to when they're, because we still worry.
I'm just going to start crying randomly, and I expect you to cry as well. Okay?
One dad wrote, "I'm a father of 3, and every daylight savings time shift is a major battle. They say, but it's still light outside." And I say, "I don't care. It's 9 o'clock. Go to bed." And another person said, "Learn to live life while using one arm, because the other one will always be holding the baby."
Still to this day, Pete carries me around the house.
Yep. Every day. And another parent wrote, "No one tells you how much you and your partner will talk about poop. The amount of poop, the color of poop, the timing of poop, the lack of poop, the consistency of poop, the location of poop, the viscosity of poop, the forcefulness of poop, even the sound of poop."
And it never stops, because then your children call you about your grandchildren's poop.
Yes.
Ain't that right? Ain't that right, Sarah? I feel like that's a weekly thing, is to call and talk about Liam's poop.
Poop, yeah. What's going on in the chat? Do we have anything in the chats?
People are lively in the chat
I
today.
guess. Good to see it.
Back when we were talking about moving the show to 10, which we were kind of kidding.
Yes.
Diane said 8 is great. Need to have a good start to my day before it's half over. Exactly. Let's see. Abby's saying it's 27 degrees there. May actually be warm today. There you go.
Hey.
That's called optimism. Dana says the Gnome is fantastic. Diane says gnomes are huge this year. And Dana says we have our Boston Bruins Gnome on next to the TV for positive mojo.
Oh.
But why? Who decides gnomes? Like, who this year? Like, who do we put in charge of trends? You know?
Aren't there? Well, there are people that do that for a living.
But
right?
why do we trust them? They say, "Hey, it's going to be gnomes this year," and we just blindly are like,
okay.
"That's a that fits. Like, that is golden." I want to be in charge.
I guess they sell that they have such personal confidence or whatever. They sell the idea, and we go for it.
I want to randomly be like, "Hey, Christmas decorated waffles this year. That's what we're going with." And you walk into everyone's house, and there's just a waffle on the wall, and you're like, "What?" But you're like, "Oh, Matt said so." So that's the trend.
We could do something with that.
Can we though?
I think so.
I don't know who gets put in charge. I want to be put in charge.
Well, why don't we start around June, the Christmas waffle promotion?
Why is it always when you grow up, you should be a doctor or you should be an astronaut? I want to be the gnome guy.
The trendsetter.
Guy that tells everyone to get a gnome. Where do I apply for that job? You know? Like there's fashion trends. I'm sure you have to be at like, I don't know, Louis Vuitton or something. Who decides gnomes? Like, is it, who's that from HGTV Sarah loves?
Oh,
Chip and Joanna Gaines. Does she decide? Yeah. Did she wake up one morning and she was like, gnomes?
If Joanna says it, it happens, right?
I mean, she was like the shiplap lady, right? She was always like shiplap here, and next thing you know, you walk into everyone's house.
Everyone's got
and they're
shiplap.
like, I don't even know what happened. I just woke up one morning and there was shiplap on my walls. I did it in my sleep. I don't know. Anyways, Mia says, I prefer Yankee Swap to Secret Santa. I don't think I've ever done a Yankee Swap. I don't think I've ever participated.
I don't think I have. Oh, wait, yeah, I think once at work we did that.
Yeah.
We did that.
I do, as long as you don't do the Michael Scott Yankee Swap. That's, if you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's the wrong way to do a Yankee Swap. Let's see. Abby said there was a questionnaire we had to fill out, like favorite color and scents and interests to help with Secret Santa. I like how they put scents there because they know someone's getting a candle. Like,
yes,
that's just the go-to gift is a candle. And most people would like that, I guess. But yeah, no, I don't know. Gift cards are just, I guess a questionnaire would help, right?
Oh, definitely.
What does favorite color do for you, though? Like, hey, my favorite color's red. Oh, great. Here's a red mitten.
It's just one.
Just one. What am I supposed to do with a mitten? They're like, oh, it's an oven mitt. I'm like, perfect. I have a frying pan.
I'm trying to think back to what I used to buy. And I know at least one year I went to a local place called Dorothy Cox Chocolates, which, of course, makes chocolates.
Good. Yes.
And I bought one of those, it's like a coffee mug with chocolates inside because I thought you can't go wrong unless they were allergic to chocolate. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you can't go wrong with that.
You know what? Make a note. You need to look up the most popular Secret Santa gifts.
Oh, okay.
Like work Secret Santa gifts. I know there's articles. I know there's going to be like top 100 Secret Santa gifts to give. Abby says blue eyes are great until you go outside and the sun flashbangs you off the snow. I feel like that's just any eye. Why do we make sunglasses a summer thing? They're definitely more required in the winter.
You have to have them in the snow country. Yes.
Like I always go outside and shovel snow, and I'm out there with Ray-Bans, and that's not the most worker like sunglasses, but that's what I wear. Whatever. I want to look hip while I'm shoveling snow, just in case the grannies are walking by or something. But I look out and no one's ever wearing sunglasses while shoveling snow.
They should.
They should. I don't know. It's instant migraine. You walk out in the snow, instant migraine. Abby says, wasn't the cutout like 10 feet tall? Yes, the TikTok cutout was like 10 feet tall. How do you not have some sort of like email that says, hey, Joe from Pepsi is going to be by with a cutout?
You would think they would.
And
right?
I wonder, I would be curious to see now, because the internet is just copycat land. How many people have now walked into gas stations and they're like, hey, there's this giant cutout of a ding dong, and this goes here. And they're like, yeah, good.
How much? That must have set him back a bit, huh?
Oh, it's professionally made.
To print one of those?
If you watch his stuff, like this is what he does. Oh, yeah. This is like Mr. Beast. We watched the Squid Game thing?
Yes.
I mean, millions of dollars goes into the production because they know it's going to blow up.
And this Mr. Beast video, he gave away how much money?
$456,000.
$456,000 to the winner. So I asked Matt, I said, where did he get this money? And it's like the guy has millions of viewers.
Well, yeah, the millions of views, but also it was sponsored. It's like, I mean, that last time I checked, this was like 3 days after it posted. If you don't know what we're talking about, the show Squid Games, a YouTuber recreated it with real people in real life. People didn't die. Don't worry.
No, nobody died.
But yeah, I checked it like 3 days later. It was at like 70 million views. So that one company that's an ad that directly went to 70 million people. So that's like the smartest way to advertise.
So we've got to step up our game here, okay? You need to tell other people, and we need to get more viewers.
Well, we need to do something more interesting than just sit here and talk. To be honest.
They like it. They talk with us.
That's true.
That's true.
All right.
Time for Braley's Bizarre But True. These are bizarre but evidently true stories that we find through many different sources. A couple got married via Zoom, even though they have never met each other in real life. It started when Asa met Darren online after joining a Facebook group in lockdown to find a pen pal. The 26-year-old from the UK hoped that finding someone new to speak to would help with the boredom during the coronavirus pandemic. She got connected with Darren, who is from Michigan, and the pair started chatting as friends in July of 2020. But they were soon inseparable and on the phone to each other every night, even with the 5-hour time difference. After becoming an official item, Asa began planning a trip to the United States to meet her boyfriend for the first time in July. But travel restrictions to the U.S. made that impossible. So the couple continued to share weekly date nights on video calls, ordering each other takeout food and treats as a surprise each week. And on May 21st of this year, Darren surprised Asa even further by proposing. Knowing it would be a long time before they'd get to meet for the first time, the couple made the decision to get married via Zoom in a legal ceremony that was officiated in Utah. Even though travel restrictions have been lifted, Asa has to wait for a visa to be accepted before she can book her flights to meet her husband in person for the first time. Isn't that wild?
So much to unpack here.
Okay.
First off, it's not as bad as it sounds because, I mean, you don't have to worry about like catfishing because I mean, you're seeing their face.
Yeah, right.
I guess you would just have to worry about the smell. You know, maybe they smell. You wouldn't know. But also, wouldn't you want to, like, I like the whole story, except wouldn't you want to wait to get married, though, until you could be together? Like, why rush it? Why do it over Zoom?
Yeah.
At that point, like, what's the point of that? Why not wait?
True.
Propose, sure. Just be engaged for a while. I don't know. Wouldn't you want to be in person for that?
I would think so. I'm surprised. The first time I read it, I thought, is that legal? But I guess they had to go to Utah. So
I now pronounce you husband and wife. You can smush the screens together.
Yeah.
Like, what? I don't know. That's just to each their own. But I would think you'd want to be together for that. But I'm happy for them.
Yeah. I guess so. A question for you this morning. Do you touch your face a lot?
Yeah.
The average driver touches their face 26 times an hour.
What else is there to do?
Well, out for a drive. Researchers looked at 31 hours of archived video footage filmed by 2 on-road driving studies, encompassing 36 experienced drivers. In case you're wondering how they figured this out. They found that the average driver touches their face 26.4 times an hour, with each touch lasting about 4 seconds every time.
I think that's a little too long, right? 4 seconds?
Yeah.
You're picking your nose at that point.
Drivers most often touch somewhere on their face, 79% of the time, followed by their hair, 10% of the time.
Yeah.
Their neck, 8% of the time, and their shoulders, only 1.7.
I was going to say, what are you doing? What are you giving yourself a shoulder rub real quick? I don't know.
Well, itch maybe.
Maybe.
That's the only thing I can
4
think
seconds,
of.
though. I don't know. That's a long. What are you doing with those?
Why
4
would
seconds?
you?
I mean, I guess, yeah, like maybe stroking your beard or something.
Yeah. I
Maybe
do
longer
that a
than
lot.
4 seconds. I don't know. That's
I
kinda
do that
strange.
a lot. So
Yeah. I mean, what else is there to do while driving?
Yeah, well,
you're listening to a podcast, just cruising down the road.
Yeah.
Or you're Trish listening to nothing. Yes, she did that again.
Yeah.
Most of the drive.
I don't know how she does that.
I don't know why.
When you took over driving, we listened to a very interesting podcast about songwriting.
That's me, an interesting guy.
I was getting into that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
With her, I don't know. It's just, I don't even know.
we were listening.
She's decompressing from her normal life, maybe?
Maybe the boo-boo bus is so loud that it's nice to have.
She's like, oh, no sirens.
Yeah.
Silence.
Oh,
and then
my
Pete
gosh.
starts talking. She's like, are you kidding me? No, you're just kidding.
We did have Christmas music going for a while.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think we got to a point where it started repeating itself.
Well, I think somebody called.
Oh, yeah, that's what breaks it up typically.
I think one of the kids called while we were on the road, and then we never went back to the music.
Yeah.
So.
Plus, I don't know. It's a 12-hour car ride. There's no way you listen to Christmas music the whole time.
I don't know.
No one has that extensive of a Christmas music library.
When I've made that trip, this is the trip from Virginia Beach to Fairhaven or the other way. When I've made that trip with Sarah and Kat too, I think, there comes a point where, and it's usually like the last 2 hours, it's usually when driving through Connecticut, there comes a point where we go to the Disney movie collection. Mm-hmm. So that we can all start singing out and,
Yeah, Abby says, I either perform a concert or zone out so bad that I hope the lights were green. Yeah, that's scary, right? We all do that. Like, I always see it on the internet. We all agree on that sometimes you make it home and you're like, how did I make it home? Mm-hmm. That's scary.
I don't remember taking the exit.
We're just trusting our internal self to bring us home safely.
I read a story about some people were asked, what's the weirdest thing that you've done, where your mind just takes over and does it automatically. And someone said that they were stopped at the traffic light that's always red while it was green. They just automatically came to the intersection and stopped the car because they're always stuck there.
I don't think I've ever stopped, but I've definitely slowed down sometimes. And I'm like, oh, here we go. And then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Got to keep going. Charlie's here for his spot on camera. What's up, my man?
Got to get you to turn around and look at the people.
We'll have to get a picture of Charlie in his Christmas sweater.
Studio dog.
Trish bought him a Christmas sweater to wear outside when it's cold.
Yep. He had it on yesterday while he was outside.
Yeah, I don't know if I've said this. Trish has always talked smack about frou-frou dogs, and she is developing quite the frou-frou dog here.
Are you a frou-frou dog?
Nah, he's not, but he kind of is.
Charlie had a great week. He got to play with his cousins.
Yeah.
Sarah has 2 dogs. Sarah and Steven have 2 dogs, Luke and Yoda. Gee, I wonder what they're a fan of. And Doug and Marla have a dog, Roscoe. So Charlie had a good week. He slept all day yesterday.
Yeah, because he didn't sleep on the car ride home.
Nope.
Like an idiot. He had 12 hours prime time to sleep. You didn't do it. What are you doing? You got any comment? He's out. See, this is what happens. You hit him with the real topics, and he leaves. He just walks out.
Do you want to be more sophisticated, son?
Diane says, your mind taking over and you wonder how you get home is one of the major reasons for most accidents happening within 2 miles of where you live. But how does it not happen more?
I know.
Is what I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of bad drivers out there. So when they're not even thinking about it, how do they make it home,
Time for today's fascinating facts. The hottest chili pepper in the world could possibly kill you. The Dragon's Breath chili pepper is so hot, it's downright deadly. If you ate one, it could potentially cause a type of anaphylactic shock, burning your airways and closing them up. Mike Smith is the hobby grower who invented it, and he says, I tried it on the tip of my tongue, and it just burned and burned. So why make such an impractical pepper? Well, as it turns out, the chili was initially developed to be used in medical treatments as an anesthetic that can numb the skin.
The sad part is there's people on TikTok that are reading this story and saying, bring it on.
Let's film that.
It's saying it could kill you.
So
someone's like, I got to try it.
Let me film it.
I would love to know. All these people, if you don't know what I'm talking about, just search on TikTok, I don't know. Pepper
something challenge.
Yeah.
Challenge.
There's people that eat all of the hottest foods at once. There's got to be some sort of negative health effects, right?
I would think so.
Besides,
with your stomach lining?
Besides burning your, butthole.
Oh, now he's getting playful.
Oh, here we go.
He wants
the end of the show playtime.
He wants to chew.
But yeah, I don't know. How there's long-term effects for everything? There's got to be long-term effects for that, right? You're burning your inside.
I would think so.
And they do it, and they're like, oh, that wasn't even hot. It's maybe that's because you've numbed your whole body. People love that. They love to watch it, and they're like, that's so cool. I watch that, and I'm like,
yeah, I cringe.
I hurt for you, man. I eat a buffalo chicken pizza, and I'm like, whew, a little spicy. Yeah.
Back to today's random question. What is the most embarrassing thing you've ever worn? And I mentioned how I had a list, not a physical list, but Matt mentioned that I did have a white tuxedo for my wedding, and the guys were in powder blue. No one complained. It was 1981. No one complained.
Yeah, I mean, it's normal back then. I don't know. Maybe we should bring back light blue. Kat and Josh are getting married. Josh?
Oh.
Light blue tuxedos?
Light blue?
Maybe.
Could be a thing.
Kat sometimes watches us, so I'm about to get cursed out in the chat. The only thing I can think of for me is that clown costume that we all wore as a kid. I look back at pictures, and one, I look so miserable. I was a miserable kid taking pictures. I hated taking pictures.
Yeah, you did.
Probably until first grade, maybe. I didn't smile.
We finally gave up, and we're like, yeah, that's Matt.
Yeah. All the family photos are everyone's so happy, and Matt looks like he's about to murder everyone.
And we had, who else was like that, Abby? Abby.
Yeah.
We had a session done, hired a photographer to do a family picture, and I know he was like, "Oh, I just need to get Matt to smile," and we were like, "No, forget it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. No. This is his personality.
Let it go.
He doesn't have one." But yeah, no, that's the only thing I can think of. I don't know. I don't really remember being embarrassed wearing anything.
Do you know what a leisure suit is?
I've heard it used, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Back in the 70s, I think it was this thing that instead of wearing a suit with a with a tie and all that, it was cut. I don't know how to describe how it was cut, but it was just, you would wear this jacket and matching pants, with an open collar shirt.
Okay.
So it was a leisure suit.
Oh, okay. You'd wear that to bed.
No.
Pajamas.
No.
Yeah.
No. You would wear that out.
Oh, okay.
You would wear that to church.
You'd wear it out of your house.
Yes.
Church? You're going leisure to church?
Yes.
How dare you? It's the Lord's Day.
I looked for the picture of the leisure suits that my brother and I had. But
matching?
No. No. I don't know.
Opportunity.
I don't know if the kids in Vermont have the picture or what, but mine was a light green leisure suit. And I think my brother's was powder blue.
What was up with you guys back then? You went to the store, you were like, gray, navy blue. No, I'm sorry. Do you have anything brighter and dumber? They were like, I have light green. Perfect.
Pretty much.
That's genius.
Yeah. We went to, if anybody from the area we went to Silverstein's, which was a men's clothing store in the city. And got my, I probably had heels on my shoes too. This was the 70s, dude.
Wow. I mean, you need all the height you can get, I guess.
Yeah.
Ooh. Dana says, dressing up as Sparky the fire dog.
Are there pictures?
I know. We need pictures of these.
We need pictures. I've got to find that leisure suit picture. I don't know who has it.
Let's see. Abby said, what is it? Why do you guys put words that I don't know? Gauchos.
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 Yeah, that was a thing, wasn't it?
What is a gaucho? She said gauchos, a belt over a shirt, basically any early 2000 fashion, in quotes, fashion. Again, who made these trends? Sign me up. Like I would love to just come up with dumb trends and just make it a thing, you know? Like a belt over a sweatshirt. Like this sweatshirt, a belt across my chest.
Yes.
And I'm like, this is in. If you're not doing this, then you're not in.
That would be the thing.
I guess you just have to be cool, and then you can do anything. And people will be like, oh, that's cool.
Or pants.
Oh, like parachute pants, kind of. Parachute capris. That's my interpretation. Parachute capris. Did we have any more? Does anyone have any more?
I also went through a spell.
Embarrassing outfits.
I also went through a spell where I wore cowboy hats. That was my persona on the radio. And it wasn't at a country station.
I thought you worked at a country station.
I did, but that was not when I wore the country hat.
That was your one chance to wear a cowboy hat. Come on, Pete.
I've got a picture of a light blue leisure suit here.
Oh.
Now do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that 70s show. They were rocking leisure suits.
Yeah, well, that was when I was doing it in the 70s.
Yeah. You weren't just a sitcom from the 90s. You were,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
When's that rerun? Not rerun. Reboot, whatever. What is it? That 90s show?
I don't know if they gave us a date for that.
I need it.
That's going to be cool.
I need it.
Yeah.
Justin said, were those like 80 disco suits?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Leisure suits.
I'm trying to find light green.
Bring it back. Do you have them anywhere? Do you still keep them?
No.
Long gone?
No, long gone.
Missed an opportunity.
I was probably 12, 13 when I wore that. So.
Abby said they were dress pants that were capris and extremely wide legs. Parachute capris.
There you go.
What I'm calling them. Basically.
Can we get him into being a trendsetter? I think we can do that, right?
Like I said, I think you need to be cool in order to do that. So I missed the mark there. Maybe next life.
It wasn't really that shade of green.
Yeah, that's bad. Show it up for the fans.
But it was close.
That's some Barney action. That's some Buzz Lightyear action.
Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear. If Buzz Lightyear wore a leisure suit.
And I did go through. I used to do a disco show on the radio on Saturday nights. So I went through a time where I had the shirts open down to here.
Mm-hmm. Gross.
Some gold chains.
Gross.
Tight pants.
Real gold? Probably not.
Heels.
Real gold?
No.
No chance. No chance.
No, that wouldn't happen.
Gail said, my youngest refused to smile until middle school. What is it with the youngest? I mean, are we just that miserable?
Well,
we're treated poorly by our older siblings.
Were you miserable, or were you? And I'm mushing my words today. Were you miserable, or were you trying to stand out instead of just being the little one
by pouting?
Well, by being different.
Maybe that's what it is. We were sick and tired of being, oh, look at the baby in the family. And now it doesn't end when you grow up, because then you grow up and people are like, oh, look at the baby. He's 6 feet tall. Look at the baby.
I remember. I changed your diaper.
I'll step on you. I guarantee any murderer in history, the youngest child, just because you called him a baby. Yeah. That's why. That was their motivation.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
That's it.
All right. Care to be more sophisticated?
Nah.
An elegance coach. There you go. Instead of being a trendsetter, you could be an elegance coach.
I don't know if I qualify for that.
An elegance coach has revealed the 10 words and phrases that make you sound unsophisticated, including overusing the word very and saying things like PJs.
What's wrong with PJs?
They are pajamas.
Oh, my God.
They are not PJs.
I have a feeling I'm not going to like this article.
Certain words and phrases might seem posh, but actually show that you are more common than you think. So here we go. The 10 words and phrases that the upper class will never use. All right?
Let's hear it.
You should never say bubbly or booze. New Year's Eve coming up. You going to get the bubbly ready? If you're talking about champagne, it is called champagne. Or if you're talking about Prosecco, which I looked up, is a dry Italian sparkling wine.
I don't think anyone's talking about Prosecco.
An elegant lady would never refer to a fine alcoholic beverage with those terms of bubbly or booze. The coach said instead she would call it by its proper name. So let's say you're drinking Prosecco, you say Prosecco. If you're drinking champagne, you say champagne.
I think bubbly's better.
Say terribly instead of very. People who overuse the word very should try to reduce this by saying terribly instead. The coach said, instead of saying that the restaurant was very full last night, it sounds better when you say it was terribly full last night. But remember, ladies, it can sound a bit repetitive if you keep using terribly over and over again.
Why is it just directed at ladies? It's a very sexist article.
Instead of can I have, use may I have.
Well, yeah, that's just everyone had the teacher that you were like, can I use the bathroom? They're like, I don't know, can you?
Can you?
It's like, why don't you die? Okay, I'm about to piss myself.
The elegance coach said, if any of you are familiar with formal writing and speaking practices, then you'll know how may I is the right way to ask permission for something. Stop saying, pardon me, especially if you're saying it because you think that is going to make you sound more posh. The elegance coach says in upper-class circles, it's actually viewed as something quite basic and unsophisticated. So a proper, more correct way is to say, excuse me.
Is this what they do when they all hang out, all the rich people? They're like, hey, by the way, pardon me. That's how we're going to... Yeah. No, everyone stop saying pardon me. This is how we're going to figure out who the poor people are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Add rather to your vocabulary more. The coach said, it was a rather lovely day. Say that instead of saying, it was a really lovely day. And we can use rather as a word when we really want to emphasize on something in an elegant way because it does sound a little bit more posh this way. Don't overuse totally and completely. The coach said most of us are overusing those words. These words can be replaced in your vocabulary by using a standard word quite as an example. So instead of saying, it's totally hot outside, it sounds much better when you say, it's quite hot outside.
Just don't try to write it or type it because everyone ends up putting like quit or quiet. I don't know. Those three words are the easiest to mix up.
Every time.
Yeah.
Instead of toilet, use lavatory.
Oh, my God.
Toilet is considered a lower level speech.
Who?
How about the can? The John. The coach said another variation could be to say bathroom but the word would then describe a room with a bath, which sometimes is not always the case.
Lady, if I'm in a Mexican restaurant and I say I need to go to the bathroom, no one thinks I'm taking a bath. Okay, everyone knows what's about to happen.
Use how to describe something. The coach said to spice up a vocabulary and to sound a little bit more refined. One other tip is to say how. As an example, you basically say, how lovely, how charming, how wonderful, rather than just saying nice, cute, or fun. Might sound a little bit old-fashioned, but it is going to elevate your everyday language. Replace hi and hey with hello. There's nothing wrong with saying hey or hi, but you need to really be aware that it's actually an informal way of greeting someone versus just simply saying hello.
I want to punch this lady in the face.
That's basically it.
That's it.
Those are the 10.
Let's see. Abby says, change how I speak to become rich. Yeah, apparently. Apparently that's the key to success.
Yep.
Just... Are you kidding me?
I forgot to mute it today. I'm going to mute my phone now.
No phones in class. How many times do we have to go over this?
I'll leave it out there.
This guy.
Okay.
Next time, you lose the name off the show. It becomes the Braley Show. And the time after that, it becomes the Matt Braley Show.
The Matt Braley
Show.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways, Justin says the upper class are just dreadful, aren't they? Right?
They're rather dreadful. Rather
dreadful.
Yes.
Yeah, terribly dreadful.
Yes.
That's the thing. She came up with like 4 different points, and they're all for the same thing. Quite dreadful. Terribly dreadful. Rather dreadful. Like, shut up. Let's see. Gary said the stupid, I don't know, can you thing drive me up a wall. Like, cool, I'll just go right here. The thing that got me was like the power that they felt.
Yes, you're right.
Like, they sit there all day, and they're just like, and you're like, can I go to the bathroom? And it's like, I just picture the camera zooming in, and they stand up, their chest puffs out. They've been waiting for this moment. I don't know, can you? It's like, that's all. Teachers go to college and go through all that stress and get paid nothing for that one moment, that one chance to feel some sort of power because they don't feel it in life.
And there it is.
And they all do it. Like, do they teach that? Anyone go to school to be a teacher? Do they teach that? Is that a thing that you need to do that? Like, that's a requirement.
Must be.
You don't get your degree until you do that.
Do that. And deliver that line.
So annoying. With that and the gum thing. Can't chew gum, and you can't say, can I go to the bathroom?
Yeah. Anything else, you're okay.
I think from now on, just go right there. Just be like, okay, well, I'm going to piss on your desk chair, okay?
Can I? Let's find out.
Diane says this elegance chick needs to have some bubbly and chill out because she's very annoying. Agreed. Yeah.
Not enough bubbly or booze.
We should all just meet up with her and say every word she told us not to say. Just drive her insane because it will. She'll just get like a tick. Like, are you kidding me? And then she'll just explode. She'll just combust.
Right.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Rather explosively. Yeah. Finally, some Hollywood headlines for today. You will likely hear Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You a few times before Christmas.
Just a couple. As
its popularity spikes again this year, ever wonder how much money Mariah makes from that song, which came out in 1994? Celebrity Net Worth calculated that Mariah gets somewhere between $600,000 and $1 million each December when the song's popularity shoots up.
At that point, why do anything else?
So every year since 1994, she's been getting that much money. Streaming has opened up a whole new revenue stream for Mariah's Christmas classic. Billboard noted in November 2021, the track already had 11.2 million streams in the U.S. Apple says it pays an average play rate of 1 cent, while Spotify says artists are paid up to 2/3 of every dollar they make from music streaming. If Mariah's current streaming rates continue, estimates indicate she could be making close to $2 million from streaming it every year.
That's crazy.
ABC announced a very boy band holiday, which will see the likes of NSYNC, New Edition, New Kids on the Block, Boys to Men, 98 Degrees, and O-Town. The ABC special will feature Joey Fatone, Chris Kirkpatrick, and Lance Bass of NSYNC. Wanya Morris and Sean Stockman from Boys to Men. Bobby Brown and Michael Bibbins of New Edition, Joey McIntyre of New Kids, Eric Michael Estrada of O-Town, Nick Lachey, Drew Lachey, Jeff Timmons, and Justin Jeffrey of 98 Degrees. It's going to be on next Monday night.
What about the Jonas Brothers?
Oh, this is like their current boy band, right?
Oh, okay.
I guess. A very boy band holiday will be on ABC Monday night at 8 o'clock. And Spotify has agreed to remove the shuffle button while users listen to Adele's album because she says it screws up the flow of the songs. I was wondering what you thought about this. There are 12 tracks on her new album, 30. Adele went to Spotify and asked that the shuffle button be removed. She said, "This was our only request I had. In our ever-changing industry, we don't create albums with so much care and thought into our track listing for no reason. Our art tells a story, and our stories should be listened to as intended. So thank you, Spotify, for listening."
I agree. I think the first listen of every album should be in order, because that is how it was meant to be listened to.
Okay,
so that's how I do it.
Yeah,
probably the first couple times, but then after that, I mean, you kind of have the songs. See, the problem now is not that it's a problem because it makes sense from like an artist standpoint, but like they release songs early. So like "Easy on Me" came out maybe even a month ago. Right. So at that point, like you probably want to listen to the other songs, not that song. So it's like, I don't know. And most albums, they release like 3 or 4 songs before the album comes out. So a lot of times you just want to skip those songs.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But I always think the first couple times should be in order. They do spend a lot of time working on the track list, especially if it's like an Adele album is a concept album. Like, and it's like, all the songs were written like for a reason. Yeah. For this album. A lot of times, some artists like just pick 12 songs, random songs, don't piece together at all, throw them in an order, and that's it. But like a lot of times, if you're releasing an album, there's a reason why you're releasing an album.
And Taylor Swift, probably.
Yeah, it tells a story. It's structurally they do spend a lot of time making the order. So,
all right. Anything else before we wrap up?
Abby says it's the OG boy bands only.
Yes,
rude. The Joe Bros are OG to me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with Ollie.
Yep.
I did want to say for the Mariah Carey song, I just picture her like every November, like she probably spent too much of the $2 million, and she's like reaching November, and she's like, "That's it, ramen noodles until December. Like we just got to make it there. We'll be okay. We just got to survive until we get there.
We get the new royalty check. Yeah. We'll be fine." Yeah.
She's like just waiting, like eating McChicken sandwiches. She's like, the $1 menu, McDonald's. Like we just got to make it to December, and then December 1st, and she's like, "Okay, steak, lobster, anybody," and then next year, same thing, all over again.
All right.
No, that's it.
That'll do it for today. Don't forget, we do have merch available. The link is in the description down below. And if you're listening to us on a podcast, it's also available on the podcast link. Hopefully, we started your day off on a good note, because that is always our goal here. Be sure to hit the like button if you like what we do, and subscribe so that you don't miss any future shows. We're live weekdays on YouTube, but also available on all of your podcast apps. And don't forget, you can leave us a voicemail with your any questions, comments. If you have a Feel Good Friday story to share with us, you can tell us the story on voicemail. Call 774-473-9910. Shall we do Battle of the Sibs tomorrow?
I think we shall.
All right, we'll get the kids together for Battle of the Sibs tomorrow. We leave you with our thought for the day, and our thought is simply, falling down is an accident. Staying down is a choice. All right. No matter what, go out and make it a great day.
Peace.